Today we are going to be following w33ha Earth Spirit and his journey in the mid lane. I've been saying that this hero is a good mid laner, and I mean it. I think it's one of the most fun heroes in Dota right now. Its level 10 talent being 65 damage is insane considering you buy treads, you got an agility buff which gives you more attack speed to use that damage, and you can play super high tempo in a meta that, well, at least with Nigma, has been super high tempo. So we're going to be looking at their draft, their mid game, what he does in the laning stage, basically everything you need to know about Nigma. And on top of that, w33ha's Earth Spirit. And yeah, if you're excited for that, like and subscribe to help out your boy Speed. That's all it takes, guys. Just click the like button down below and you help me out. Now let's get into it. And on top of the content you're going to be seeing today, I recently talked about Necro. I played a Necro game where live I talked about all of my thoughts and really everything that came to mind. It was a very funny match as they basically gave up early on. But what I discussed was like how to crush your early game, how to really dominate your laning stage and not just go even. Because a lot of people think they're winning. They think they're doing okay, but at the end of the day, they're not really doing that well. So if you're interested in seeing that video, click the link down below to the gameleap website. It's over there. I've also made some other videos such as a live Legion game. I've even talked about Tidehunter recently, updating his course. We even have an updated Legion course now. And so there's so many things to check out on the gameleap website. Super cheap. A lot of time on our hands, I'm sure, right now because of the quarantine that I am also going through. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. And now let's get into the video. Alright, so I usually don't look at drafting too much as it doesn't apply to the majority of the community, but we're going to be doing it today because I really like how people are drafting right now in the current meta. So this is 7.25b, doesn't matter too much, but yeah, let's look into their picks and such. So first off, getting to the bans, we're going to speed it up a little bit, get it? But yeah, we're going to speed it up a little bit. So some of the meta heroes are what you're going to be banning first phase. You're going to be banning meta and what you think the enemy team is good at. So, right, they're banning out Timbersaw, definitely a top tier hero. Hellraisers has also been picking it, if I'm not mistaken. On top of that, their next ban is Leshrac. Hellraisers banning out the Chen, which has been a Enigma hero, and the Nyx Assassin. And then we're just going to see Weaver, like a bunch of other meta bans. Like, then it just is like meta. Weaver, we're going to see Lycan. Pretty standard stuff right now. Weaver and Lycan are definitely two of the top carries even after their nerfs, right? Because this game was actually after 7.25b, so even after it, a lot of meta heroes getting banned out here. Moving into it, we see a first pick bounty hunter. Do remember this is a charity event, so some of the picks might be a bit for fun, more than usual. However, the bounty definitely makes sense with Nigma's playstyle, which is very fast. It's just one of those heroes. Now, from Hellraisers, we see a response of Void Spirit and Shadow Demon, which is by no means a counter pick, I'd say, to bounty. I mean, the heroes are good at catching bounty, to be fair. Like, Shadow Demon's ultimate slows him down and is a support that actually can deal with the bounty harass in the backline due to the fact that you have two ways of, stopping him. Moving forward, we see Nigma keeping up the fast-paced tempo and another flex pick. I believe Kuroki has been playing the bounty as a position 5 on Nigma. However, of course you can flex it. You could play it as an offlaner. You could even play it mid. I wouldn't be shocked if they did that. Even against Void Spirit, that sounds like a fine matchup. Like, not great, but it seems fine. Moving on, though, they pick up the Earth Spirit, who is a flex mid laner and position 4 now. That is what we've been seeing it as. I even think some teams have picked it as a 3. I could be wrong about that, but it is definitely a 4 and a mid laner, and I'm really glad that this is becoming a trend. We see a Pango pick come out. I mean, I wouldn't say anything too notable, just a very strong hero. You can tell Hellraisers wants to play very, very fast. They just want to run around the map, be mobile, hard to deal with, and they also want to be able to deal with the tempo of Nigma, so they're not interested in playing slow and trying to dodge the rotations. They want to fight back, and that seems pretty clear with the draft. Also, some bans we see is DP, who does well with the Shadow Demon, in my opinion. It also is very high tempo with the Void Spirit, right? Void Spirit provides the control, DP provides the damage. Obviously, Void Spirit does damage, but pretty nice combo there. And then a Slaughter, who is a good hero against Pango in lane. It destroys Pango in lane if you can get that matchup 1v1, which is pretty strong. It's also quite good against Void Spirit in lane, I'd say. It's not incredible, but it's definitely alright if the other support with the Void Spirit can't shove the lane with him. The Slaughter can trade pretty well. And then, yeah, we're going to see an Ember Spirit come out from Hellraisers, which just goes and furthers the point of them trying to keep up tempo. It also leaves a very flexible mid lane, because even though these heroes might seem similar, they're actually quite a bit different in terms of the matchups they can deal with. Like, the Void Spirit is a very reliable mid laner. He loses very few matchups. So it's kind of nice to have Ember and Void Spirit. You can flex them between the mid and the safe lane, and it's a very versatile draft. And Enigma, there's basically no egg hitter here. They have no hero that properly hits egg. Void Spirit and Ember Spirit do not want to stand still to hit egg, especially against these type of heroes. So they have egg protectors with the Slaughter and the Earth Spirit, and they have no egg hitters on Hellraiser, so I like that pick. It also lanes fantastic with the Slaughter. On top of that, I think Phoenix is going to become more and more popular of a hero. I think he's gotten buffed like 3 or 4 patches in a row. Not major buffs, but like small laning stage early game buffs, to the point where like if this hero becomes a good laner, pretty sure it's just going to become a top meta hero, especially within the pro scene. And then we see a PA pick, which is kind of bizarre. It works very well with the Slaughter. It gives them Roche potential. It can play high tempo if it rushes Deso, which is what Nigma has been doing. They rush Deso on PA, they take Roche, and they play high tempo with it. But like usually you'd see it against Pango and Shadow Demon and Void Spirit and Ember, you'd be like, that's too much magical damage for PA. But I'm pretty sure they're confident they can get away with it in the laning stage. They can even tri-lane it if they need to and make it work that way. On top of that, Hellraisers, I think some teams have been flexing Ember Spirit as a 4, believe it or not, and I think that's what we're seeing here. A 4 Void or a 4 Ember. Basically what these Embers do now as a position 4 is they max their chains and their sleight, and they leave the chains at level 1. Like they go 1 to 0 in the laning stage. They just chuck out a bunch of sleights to harass, and then the chains is only, 80 mana, and it's good for laning. So kind of a weird last chug pick to note, because it's not a really good 1v1 carry matchup in the mid-late game. However, that's okay because it's good in the lane with their like chains combo. If they want to tri-lane now, let's say they want to tri-lane with a Uv Pango or an Uv Ember or even a Uv Void Spirit, even just buying an Uv on Jug, they can go very aggressive with any of these heroes in a tri-lane setting, which I like. Jug is very good in those settings, provides a lot of kill threat, and it plays high tempo against the PA, right? So you have a lot of magical damage, you can spin, keep up the tempo against PA, and once again, I think they're trying to pick a lineup that can stay at pace with Nigma. But yeah, now let's get into the mid gameplay of w33ha. So first things first, in terms of starting build, Share Tango's Gauntlet, Circlet, Fairy Fire, Branch, and Quelling Blade, pretty standard stuff. You're going to buy Bracer right off the bat. It just gives you, the strength and the magic resistance to help you out in the laning stage, as well as the salve. Pretty standard stuff. In terms of laning with the Earth Spirit, I've almost solely seen people going the Q level 1. Like, almost solely the Q level 1, and it is the bounty support from Kuroki. But yeah, you take the Q, not the roll, very important to note, and you use it to secure creeps. This is very important, because if you don't do this, oh, pretty funny there, you kick them away. If you don't do this, you're actually going to have a hard time securing creeps, and that's a big disadvantage in the mid lane. If you don't have a nuke or a way to shove the lane as a mid laner, you're actually at a severe disadvantage. Just because people can do it to you, they can push you under tower, make you miss CS, they can also harass you with a creep advantage. It just can become very awkward. And that's sort of what we're seeing here. The ranged creep is going to take a little bit of aggro. He can't really secure it though. He might have to kick this one. No, it's actually very easy to last hit with Earth Spirit. I want you guys to keep that in mind. It is extremely easy to last hit with this hero. 61 damage with a Quelling Blade, brutally easy. And one thing I want you to note, against melee matchups or ranged heroes, if they walk onto your high ground, guys, and you're playing Earth Spirit mid, roll on them and kick them under tower. Like, even if you're 200 HP and they're like 500, you can make so many outplays with this Earth Spirit hero where you just roll on them, kick them under tower, and they die. It's very, very impressive what this hero can do in terms of kill potential. It's similar to Tiny Avatos, and we're actually going to see it here, right? Goes into the tree line, rolls in, kicks him under tower, right? And it might not seem significant. Great sleight of fist by the Ember to avoid the tower hit. Like, super smart on his part. But, like, if someone doesn't have that option, or doesn't read it and sees it coming, like Kasani did there, obviously a very good player, then they're just going to basically lose the lanes strictly from that. So I really like what w33ha did. Lose vision, roll in, kick them under. Also, if you're playing Earth Spirit mid, you're going to have to pull a lot of aggro, right? Because your hero doesn't, it's tanky, 3 armor is not bad, a lot of HP. However, if you're against a ranged hero or a hero that harasses you a lot, make sure you're doing what w33ha is doing here over and over again, which is pulling the wave back. It's going to give you a lot of options. It's going to let you kick people under tower. It's really just great for a lot of things. Lets you kick people under tower, lets you avoid damage. It's really just a fantastic solution overall to a lot of the problems you could have as a mid laner. That's melee. Moving on from there, you're going to want to buy a bottle as a second item. Now, I recommend if you're not comfortable with last hitting or you don't feel like you're that good yet, that you just rush the bottle straight up to make sure you can get it around the 3-minute and 30-second timing. This is important because Earth Spirit is one of the best heroes in the game at securing runes. Maybe like the best. Because you can kick people away from the rune, you can roll to them, so it's a great option. And as you're going to see here, w33ha gets it around 330, and if you guys know about this current patch, you want to get the bottle around 330 because then you can use the charges, right, as he's going to do here, use charges and try to secure the rune. Now, Kasani is a good player, obviously, so he's actually going to have to roll to contest it. It spawns on the other side, and he's even willing to actually miss a couple of creeps, funny enough, to go secure it. He's actually bullying him. Look at this, guys. This is hilarious. Literally kicking this guy out of the lane. But pretty important, right? You see that entire sequence? That's huge. He went from 500 HP, low mana, to being able to spam a lot of spells, harass the mid laner, and secure the rune. And in your pubs, people aren't going to force you to like commit your role early like that, and you're going to be able to get the rune every single time and basically win your lane just from that. So funny enough, he actually makes a very early rotation into this game, and it's almost a bizarre rotation because it wasn't seemingly based off anything, but he just TP's top. It's 5 minutes in, he's level 6, he TP's top. Weird, right? Because it's not like there's even some obvious kill at all. The interesting thing though is that he's almost playing it as if he wants to ruin the safe lane. Like, he's basically a roamer at this point, which is definitely bizarre. He ends up like sort of rotating back to mid, but he really wanted to fight around his level 6 timing. And keep that in mind, guys. When you're level 6, you basically can just ruin side lanes. Like, you are the strongest hero in the game, and you're even going to see them diving the mid laner here and actually get a reset on the magnetize, which is huge. Pay attention to this, okay? I really want you guys to see how they do this. So obviously going under tower, you max out the Q, 2 points into W, right? Kick, ulti, it applies on the creeps as well, just in case he missed because of sleight of fist. Goes on the creeps, so he could have reset it anyway, right? Secures the kill, and then with the creeps, he's actually able to reset the magnetize, which is massive, right? Absolutely massive, because this spell does 50 damage per second, and you can keep it going for as long as you have boulders. And that's what we're going to see here, right? Keeps it going on Mapashka, on the Void Spirit. Roger TP's in, but he's also ticking, and they are all dead. This is the power of a early level 6 on Void Spirit. It is one of the best early game spells in Dota. If you play it properly and kite people with it, you can solo kill 1,000 HP heroes from full just with this spell. It is beyond good if you understand how to use it. And if you don't, basically the stone, if you put it next to someone, resets the timer. It lasts for 6 seconds, and then during the 6 seconds, if you apply it again, right, you put down a stone next to them, it will apply the ultimate to everyone around them in a certain radius and reset the timers. So it's very important to keep it going. Also, one thing to consider, guys, is to walk back to base. This is something that I've seen mid laners do more and more now. I think people are hesitant to do it because of like old stigmas on walking back to base. Like from the days of courier crowing when you could like ship out the courier to take your bottle, bring it back to base. Those days. No, now that that doesn't exist, if you have boots and a bottle, you're going to get back to base quickly. You're going to be able to reevaluate the map. You're going to be able to really pay attention to each lane. Be like, oh, what can I gank? What can I do? And completely refill your bottles. So I highly recommend you guys do this. It's just a great play. And as you can see here, he sees a potential kill onto the Pango, rolls in, connects, big bash from the Slaughter, secures the kill. Why was he able to do that? Because he reset, went back to the base, realized that that was a potential kill, rolls in, secures the kill, back to mid. And this is what you want to do as Earth Spirit. You don't necessarily want to sit mid all game. It's not the end of the world if you sit mid for like 9 minutes because you really think there's nothing to do. But more often than not, I recommend you take chances. And that's what he's doing here. He doesn't even bother to farm the mid lane. He sees a huge brawl going out top, and unfortunately he's not able to actually instantly take the fight, but you can see how confident he is. This is a bunch of full HP heroes. Why does he even consider walking in? Because he understands how strong his ultimate potentially is. And I want you guys to see this play here. Now, it's scary. It's literally scary how much damage you deal. So, right, he gets gone on. He puts the boulder down at the front and kicks it across to hit multiple different heroes. And is able to roll out, applying the magnetize to every single hero. On top of that, GH hits them with this god tier Icarus dive as well as fire spirits, and they basically are all 1 HP. I mean, it's insane. Like, legit, it's insane. Even tries to go for the kill there with a kick. But that's the power of your hero. With 2 bracers and shreds, right, string shreds, you have 1600 HP at level 7. That's beyond insane, as well as 7 armor. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Now quickly, I just want to mention that this video has been going on for a while, and now I'm going to leave a few key more points on what his strategy actually is and how you should look at this hero as a mid laner, right? Because I'm really going to give you every tip you need here to understand when you should draft it, when it's good, what you should be looking to do. So what I want to say is I'm not going to be looking at the whole match. I'm going to look at the rest of the early game, and what you want to do is exactly what w33ha's doing with this hero, right? You buy these stat efficient items. I recommend you buy 2 bracers. I also highly recommend Wand. I'm a bit surprised he didn't buy it this game. I think it's just super good on any sort of high tempo hero. It helps with your bad mana pool, right? Your hero has a very bad mana pool. It helps with, just getting out on low amount of HPs, keeping your boulders going. Overall, I just recommend buying 2 bracers, treads, Wand every single game, and then focusing on making space for a hard carry. So that's what I recommend you do. If you know you have a hard carry, right? You have a Spectre, you have a PA, a Terrorblade, a Sven, even a Wraith King, Earth Spirit is a great option. And then what you can do is fight, right? You spend the first 6 minutes getting levels, you hit level 6, and you look for fight after fight after fight, obviously pushing in a wave here and there, right? You want to kill a wave here and there, otherwise you're going to fall behind on levels, unless you're literally team wiping them every second of the game. And that's what we're seeing here, right? After a little bit of a top play, he goes back to mid to just kill a wave, right? It's not that he's going to do this a whole game, right? Instantly here, he's like, oh, there's a Pego kill. Sets up with this bounty hunter, secures it, right? And that's what you're trying to do. Mid wave, because then you're close to top and bottom, right? You're close to top and bottom, and because of that, you can instantly get to wherever you need to be. So that's why you go from bottom to mid, top to mid, bottom to mid, top to mid. You kind of like bounce. See what I mean, guys? You go from lane to lane, you find the kills that you think are possible, and then you get back to mid for XP. That's how you want to play these roamers, especially when you have a hard carry. And now, if we look at the game of Miracle, my man is chilling. He is chilling up top, because look, w33ha down bottom is making a ton of space. Enigma knows that, sure, they're going to go down, but they get a track kill onto the Shadow Demon, and they continue to make space so that the Phantom Assassin can farm her Deso, which is the best timing for PA. And yeah, you're going to see he just really continues to fight, guys. Like, if you wanted me to overcomplicate this, I would love to, because sometimes Dota is like that, and I love, like, deep analyzing Dota, but I'm going to look at the spell casting here, right? So the first thing you're generally going to want to do is roll in, and you want to get your kick off cooldown generally as soon as possible. Now, he doesn't instantly ulti here. I think he was waiting for the jug spin to end. So the jug spin ends, he commits his ulti, and he has his spells off cooldown. You want to get this boulder smash off cooldown, so use it early into the fight. Even if it's to only hit one person, it's a 10-second cooldown, high damage nuke, 4-second slow, just get it going, right? Get this spell off cooldown. You need to get as many Qs and as many Ws off in a fight as you possibly can in the early game, right? That's what you're trying to do if you're trying to, carry the early game. And unfortunately, this engagement doesn't really work out for him. You're going to see how much time you really can buy. This is a pretty comical clip. He kicks off the Ember Spirit, manages to roll out, and, this engagement was pretty bad for them overall, but you can see the concepts there. Pros are not perfect. You guys can't be perfect as well. However, following these concepts on a hero like Earth Spirit is going to make you have success, because I think it's strong right now. And yes, you're gonna have to play 5-10 games of Earth Spirit to get comfortable on him if you want to do this, but it's very possible. And that's where I'm gonna end the video, because this is the main thing I want to show. The first 11 minutes builds a 2k net worth lead for his team, stays top 3 in the net worth even though he's constantly ganking and only has 33 CS. That is the power of the current Earth Spirit. You can be unbelievably active. They buff the cooldown on the Stone Remnant, meaning you can be even more active. They reduced it by 5 seconds a couple patches ago. And yeah, now you have this damage talent when you hit level 10, you scale well, and in terms of items, guys, I'm going to make this very clear. I think Vessel is one of the best items, which he's buying here. I think Veil is fantastic. I think Blade Mail is okay if they have a very specific lineup that it counters, right? Like a Gyrocopter, a Leshrac, a Skywrath, a Luna, these type of heroes. Or you can even go a right-click variant. You can go like an Armlet into Echo Saber, or even an Armlet into BKB, and sort of just try to right-click people. These are all very good options, but make sure you focus around stats. You want to be this early game tempo controller that makes space. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned a lot about this. Send me videos. You can even send me match IDs over Discord. Probably going to try to look at a few, if I can, of Mid-Earth Spirit and talk to you guys about them. I usually don't do that over Discord, but I'm definitely very interested on seeing how this will play out in the various MMR brackets. So yeah, hopefully we can do that, and I'll see you in the next video. And hey guys, remember, before you end this video, in the link down below, I've been playing a lot of live games where I talk about my thoughts in real time in the middle of a Dota match. So if you want to get in the head of a pro player, click the link down below to the gameleap website. Super cheap right now, right? And I'm doing this a ton. We all have time on our hands. I have time to make content. You guys probably have time to enjoy and learn Dota, get better at the game. So yeah, if that combo works for you, click the link down below, and I'll see you there.